Welcome back to the WCG for this evening session on day 2 of the first and only test match of the Harley Cranes Test Series. It's Brennan's 11 who enter this final session in complete control of the test match, having set the Reds a mammoth target for victory. They picked up a Reds wicket just before the tea break, and will be looking to carry on with the job. So it will be the youngster Nathan Hancock who will resume for the Reds. He was able to get through the 4 deliveries he had to negotiate before the tea break. Will now be looking to push his side closer towards his target. So it'll be Hancock v Hancock for the first over of the evening session, as Daniel is in now to his brother Nathan, and he begins with a full toss. It's played the bowling there on the offside for no run. So the Reds are in desperate need of someone to stand up and be counted for their side in the face of this mammoth target. Here's Hancock will continue to his brother, and this one's a full delivery. And there's a couple of groans from several of the Brennan's 11's fieldsmen. They think this might have been close to that leg stump. Oh yeah, it wouldn't have missed by much. Daniel to continue to his brother in the 4th over. As in now, this one's a full in-swinging delivery, and he gets a thick inside edge onto the fence. It's fielded by Alex Stepien again for no run. Here we have seen in the past that young Nathan Hancock has the ability to absorb the pressure after an early wicket. Here's Daniel Hancock will come in for the final ball of his over, and this one slides down the leg side. Brendan Scott to bowl the 5th over of the innings. As he's in now over the wicket to Nathan Hancock. It's a full in-swinging delivery, and there's a big appeal from several of the Brennan's 11's fieldsmen. They think this might have been an edge true to the keeper. As we have a look, it's inconclusive. Scott to continue to the youngster Nathan Hancock in the 5th over. He's in now, and it's a full in-swinging delivery, and Hancock is forward and defends back down the pitch for no run. Here the youngster quite happy to absorb the pressure here. 15 deliveries without getting off the mark. And Scott will come in once again to Hancock. It's another full in-swinging delivery, and it looks like he's got in a bit of a tangle here, the youngster. He just hangs his bat out there, and he's lucky not to chop it on. It'll be George Paneras by the 7th over of the innings. It's in now to Hancock, and this one's a wide delivery, and it has been called as such here from the umpire. There is an inquest from several of the Brennan's 11's fieldsmen who think that's an unfair call, but it's a wide regardless. So that's the first addition to the scoreboard in this session from the Reds. Yet to score a run off the bat in this innings, as Paneras will continue again to Hancock, and he gets a thick inside edge onto the fence, and he catches the blue skipper napping there. So that's the first run off the bat, and it belongs to Nathan Hancock. So a confidence boost there for the youngster. He gets off the dreaded duck and scores his side's first run off the bat in this run chase. Still plenty of work to be done for the youngster. His side still requiring 167 runs for victory. As Paneras continues again now to Hancock, and this one slides down the leg side. It'll be Josh bowling to bowl his 2nd over of the innings, as he'll come in around the wicket now to Hancock. And now he starts with a short delivery, and this one hits Hancock on the body for no run. And Scott has disabled the auto wiki once again, looking to see if he can recreate his stumping off Jake Kasacha in that afternoon session. A solitary wicket to 4 for Rabih's 11 so far. His bowling is in again to Hancock, and he flights this one up, and Hancock says thank you very much as he gets to this one on the full and hammers this over the pickets for a maximum. Bowling to continue to Hancock once again around the wicket. Here he's in now. This one's another shorter delivery, but this one skids on, and Hancock leaves it alone outside the off stump. He's so good this from Hancock. He's moved along to 7. His resistance must be frustrating the Brennan's 11 juggernaut at the moment. His bowling is in once again here to Hancock, and I think he's bowled in around his legs. It has, it's clipped the leg stump, can you believe it? It's an error in judgment here from the youngster, whose brave resistance comes to an end. Rabih's 11, 2 for 12 in the run chase, as it will be Justin Brook who'll come out to bat at number 3 for the Reds. Was dismissed for a 2nd ball duck in the 1st innings. His side will be hoping that he can drastically improve on that effort, as they still require a mammoth 159 runs for victory. That'll be Scott to bowl to Justin Brook for his first delivery. Here he's in now over the wicket, and he begins with a full delivery, and Brook is forward and defends on the onside for no run. There's no doubt that Brook has the ability here. He's hardly made a run at the WCG since his debut in last year's limited overs match. Here is Scott will continue to him now. This one's a back of a length delivery, and it's caught in the back of the bat. I think it has. It's gone through the automatic wiki, and Brook has gone for a pair in the test match. Brennan's 11 pick up their 3rd red scalp of the innings. Yeah, and he's just hung the bat out, and it's come off the back of the bat. Rabih's 11, 3 for 12. So the Reds are in massive trouble in this run chase, as it would be Ryan Schaefer to come out to bat at number 4 for the Reds. And this is a key wicket for Brendan's 11. You feel if Rabih's 11 are going to get anywhere near this total, Ryan Schaefer's going to have to get the bulk of them. Going to be the blue skipper who's just picked up his first wicket of the test match to bowl to Ryan Schaefer over the wicket for his first delivery. Here is he's in now, and this one's a good length delivery, and Schaefer is well in behind it and defends on the offside to White for no run. So Rabih's 11 are in all sorts of trouble once again in this run chase. Brendan's 11 are closing in on yet another massive victory, as Scott will continue again to Schaefer, and it's a full delivery, and he hits it on the offside to Daniel Hancock there for no run. Here, Ryan Schaefer's not the type to lie down without a fight, however, so they're going to have to earn his wicket, are the Blues. Here is Scott will continue again to Schaefer, and this one's a shorter delivery, but it slides down the leg side. So just the one delivery left in the Scott over for Schaefer to negotiate. Rabih's 11, 3 for 12 in the 13th over. Scott will come into Schaefer over the wicket. In now, this one's a back of a length delivery, and it beats Schaefer outside the off stump. A good one to finish with. It'll be Gavin Merrifield to bowl the 14th over of the innings. As in now to Schaefer, and this one slides down the leg side, but not before Schaefer has a little prod at it, and he's lucky not to get a tickle on there. So Scott just playing a few mind games with Schaefer. He knows that this is the key wicket for his side. As Merrifield will continue to Schaefer in the 14th over. As in now, and Schaefer drops this on the leg side, and he's going to go for a single as he takes on Scott's arm, and Scott collapses in disbelief. Well, he thinks he was a chance here. Schaefer has dropped this on the leg side, and I think it's flicked Schaefer's leg. Close shout there for the Reds. Here is Merrifield will continue to Schaefer. In now, and this one's a full delivery. Schaefer hammers it through mid-wicket for 6. Schaefer won't be daunted by the massive task ahead of him as he moves along to 7. Rabih's 11, 3 for 25. This will be Alex Stepien to bowl his third over of the innings. And this one's a shorter delivery outside the off stump, which Schaefer leaves alone. Schaefer has moved along to 11 not out, with his side still requiring 146 runs for victory. And Stepien will bowl again here to Schaefer, and this one's a full toss. And Schaefer gets this away through mid-wicket for another boundary. Stepien over pitches and misses his mark. Schaefer's not going to miss out on that. 4 runs. Stepien to continue to Schaefer around the wicket. In there, and this one's another back of a length delivery, and Schaefer leaves that alone outside the off stump. So a good revival here somewhat here from Schaefer. 15 not out. The Reds need him to be there at the end of the day's play. And Stepien continues again to Schaefer, and he beats him outside the off stump to end the over. It'll be Matt White to bowl the 19th over of the innings. As in now to Schaefer, and he begins with a full delivery as Schaefer drives, and it's well fielded there by the youngster Daniel Hancock, who dives away to his left to complete the stop. So a key period of the session here for the Reds. Can Schaefer see out the steam train in White? Here's White is in again to Schaefer, and it's a good length delivery as Schaefer lets it go outside the off stump. Here in last year's series, Schaefer was able to make a lot of 30s, but wasn't able to go on with it. He's going to have to go on with it in this innings. Here is White is in again to Schaefer, and he drops this on the offside. He's going to go through for a single as Paneros throws in vain as Schaefer gets there comfortably. A good busy cricket once again from the dual international, who moves along to 16. It'll be Daniel Hancock to bowl the 20th over of the innings. As in now to Schaefer around the wicket. It begins with a full toss, and Schaefer pierces the gap through mid-wicket for another boundary. Schaefer starting to click into gear as he moves into the 20s. The Reds 3 for 34. Hancock to continue to Schaefer around the wicket. As he's in now, and he drops this one short, and Schaefer hammers him through in the onside for yet another boundary. So back-to-back 4s for Schaefer. He's beginning to shift through the gears as he moves to 24. The Reds 3 for 39. As Hamid Al-Bashir bowl the 21st over of the innings. As in now, and he begins with a full toss. He's hit to Schaefer, and he's going to take Daniel Hancock on the rebound. And a good throw there, and he might have been in trouble. He'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to get this away for a boundary. It's a good stop originally there from Stepien, who palms it in the air. And the throw, it hits Schaefer in the back. Al-Bashir to continue to Schaefer in the 21st over. He's in now, and this one's another back of a length delivery. And Schaefer is in behind it and defends well. Still a mammoth effort required from Schaefer and the Reds. 131 still required for victory, which seems a long way off from here. But the longer Schaefer stays at the crease, they're a chance. As Al-Bashir is in again to Schaefer, and this one's a full toss on his pads. And Schaefer whips this away for yet another boundary. Schaefer moves to 29. The Reds 3 for 44. Basher will continue to Schaefer in the 21st over. As in now, this one's another back of a length delivery, and Schaefer just defends that on the offside, and it's eventually fielded in the end there by George Paneros. Schaefer has just halted the Blues' momentum. He's moved along to 29 and is just beginning to get into his groove. As Basher will continue to him now around the wicket, and this one's a short looping delivery, which Schaefer leaves alone. So it's been a pretty handy fight back so far for the Reds and Ryan Schaefer in particular. After losing their third wicket with the score on 12, the Reds have moved along slowly to 3 for 44 after 21 overs, with Schaefer 29 not out. His side still requiring 127 runs for victory, but is there light at the end of the tunnel here for the Reds as we move towards the end of the day's play? So it'll be George Paneros to bowl the 22nd over of the innings, as he's in now to Schaefer over the wicket. Oh, and he begins with an absolute beauty, which beats the edge of Schaefer's bat. And Schaefer lucky not to get a tickle on this one. Paneros to continue to Schaefer over the wicket. Here's in now, and this one's a 14 swinging delivery, and Schaefer drives this down the ground for another boundary. It's a beautiful on drive here from Schaefer, who now moves into the 30s. It'll be Josh bowling, who will bowl round the wicket for the 23rd over of the innings. As in now to Ryan Schaefer, and he lands it on a dime and begins with an absolute beauty. There was a slight appeal from several of the Brennan's 11's fieldsmen, but that is an absolute jaffer there from bowling. Bowling to continue to Schaefer around the wicket. As in now, and he gives this one a bit of flight, and it's a full toss which Schaefer doesn't get away, and that might have been another tight finish there from Schaefer. He's pinched another single, but it's a great bit of fielding here from George Paneros, who turns and throws. Oh, that would have been tight. The Reds move along to 3 for 49, as bowling will continue to Schaefer around the wicket, and he's dropped this one short, and he's been hammered through mid-wicket for a maximum. Schaefer is really beginning to go through the gears here late on day 2 as he moves into the 40s. This is Schaefer's highest score at the WCG as bowling is in for the final ball of his over, and he drops short once again, and he hits his into Scott, and Paneros can't field this time around. Schaefer unlucky not to add another boundary to his tally, but the Goodyear blimp was in his way. It'll be Gavin Merrifield to bowl the penultimate over of the day's play, as he's in now to Schaefer, and this one leaps off a length and whistles past Schaefer's nose. Well, just as well for Schaefer that this wasn't straight, otherwise he could have been in a bit of trouble. Merrifield to continue to Schaefer over the wicket, as he's in now, this one's a short delivery. Schaefer gets his past Scott this time, and it's another boundary. The momentum has certainly shifted in this final session. The Reds 3 for 60. Schaefer moves to 45 as Merrifield will come into him now over the wicket, and it's a horrible delivery. It's a beamer which has been called a no ball, and it's just the first signs that Brennan's 11 are just becoming a bit frazzled here. Schaefer has slightly swung the pendulum in his favour. Still a long way to go, but if he can survive to the close of play tonight, the Reds have hope. Merrifield to try his luck around the wicket now to Schaefer, and he's in there and he turns up a full toss, and Schaefer punishes this through mid-wicket. Schaefer moves to within 1 of his maiden half-century at the WCG. The Reds are building a head of steam here. So it's going to be the skipper, Brendan Scott, to bowl the final over of the second day's play. As he's in now to Schaefer, and this is a good length delivery. Schaefer has a plate stroke. There's a massive appeal. Oh, and the umpires turn this one down. Well, the Blues cannot believe it here, unless this is missing leg stump. Oh, that looks straight. Looks like Schaefer's got away with one here. Well, high drama late on day 2. Here is Scott will continue again to Schaefer, and he's on the back foot. He plays this onto the fence, and he sneaks through for another single. So Ryan Schaefer reaches his maiden half-century at the WCG. It's been a brilliant innings so far. 8 fours and a 6 in this crucial knock, which has given Rabih's 11 renewed hope when all looked lost. Scott to continue to Schaefer in the final over of the day's play. As he's in now, and this one's a full delivery. Schaefer drops his at his toes again and jets off for another single. He's the single king here at the WCG. 11 singles so far in this knock of 51. And from a Reds point of view, they'll be hoping there's plenty more. Here's Scott to continue to Schaefer in the final over of the day's play. As in now, and this one's a short delivery, which Schaefer gets underneath comfortably. Much will be talked about at the close of play about that LBW decision, which went against the Blues. But there's still 2 deliveries left in the day's play. As Scott comes into Schaefer once again, this one's a full delivery, and it's beaten Schaefer outside the off stump. So nothing going the Blues' way at the moment, with just one delivery for Schaefer to negotiate. So the final delivery of an action-packed second day's play. It'll be Scott into Schaefer, and it's another full delivery, and in typical fashion, Schaefer ends the day with a single, and the Reds end the day on a high. So after a horror start to the final session, there appears to be light at the end of the tunnel for the Reds as they go into the close of play at 3 for 68 and will require a further 103 runs tomorrow to pull off a miraculous victory. Ryan Schaefer will resume on 52 not out, and if he can repeat his final session heroics tomorrow morning, they're a shout.